So today I've been thinking a little about new beginnings, in part because every time I walk in my living room, I see my Christmas tree still up on February 17th. So we need a new beginning in this household. Otherwise, there's so many things in our lives and times when we need new beginnings. And they can be scary, and they can be refreshing, they can be full of adrenaline and exciting, and they can be devastating. And then sometimes we see beautiful new life grow out of them. I was thinking about my most recent trip to Sicily and my ancestors. One of my ancestral lines is from Alcamo in the Trapani province in Sicily. And I later found that that line actually originated in Gibellina, which is a little more inland in this area called Val de Belice, like the Belice Valley area. And there's sort of a few towns that are covered in this area. Salemi is another city that's in this area, which is where my ancestors are also from. I'm an Italian citizen registered in that town from my immigrant great-grandfather. And there's a few other towns. And so in 1968, there was a huge earthquake. I think it was a 6.4 that shook this whole Belice Valley area and completely razed a few towns. And all that's left in some of these towns are ghost towns. Gibellina was one that was completely devastated. Sella Peruta and Poggio Reale. I think in Poggio Reale, it's just a ghost town now. There's just ruins everywhere. And Gibellina, they didn't even try to rebuild. They just picked up the entire city. Well, they razed everything and they rebuilt the city 5 or 10 kilometers away. But it's not a quick 5 or 10. You have to go through winding mountain valleys to get there. And they actually rebuilt where the old city was, this beautiful artistic landmark. Well, when you first see it, you don't think it's beautiful, but once you visit it, it has this beautiful feeling where they basically laid out all of the original roads in concrete in the old town. So you drive up on this hill and you see this concrete map basically built where the old town was. And it looks small until you start walking up it and you realize how big and how steep it was. But it's just a reminder of how something old and destroyed can become something beautiful in this art installation, and also how you can rebuild. Sometimes we just have to pick up and rebuild completely elsewhere. But life goes on. So many people were displaced after this earthquake because there was no work. The town wasn't rebuilt in a day. A lot of people emigrated to northern Italy or to the Italian communities in Switzerland and even other countries, and then returned back 40 years later. They still remembered home, but they rebuilt their lives and eventually came back home to who they are. And I think it's a beautiful reminder. A lot of times when we go through difficulties in life, we can draw strength from the things our ancestors went through. I didn't have any ancestors living in Gibellina or the surrounding areas when the earthquake happened. But I am so grateful that those parish records survived amazingly, even though there were fires and I believe the original church burned. The entire collection of registers was saved, and there's not really even any burn marks on them. And I've researched my ancestors in these records, so that is a little saving grace from the tragedy. But yeah, if you're having a hard time, just look to your ancestors and see what you can learn from them and from the things that they went through, and draw on their strength. It can really help you get through some tough times.